Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout-outs goes to Big Geordie Dave and Batan. Both were first to say first in one of my recent videos, and both win a shout-out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with a review of the new JJRC 8X17 Pilot. Or I think it's Poilt. I think it was meant to be Pilot, but they spelled it Poilt. GPS camera drone, in other words. It's a folding GPS camera drone. And before we go a little any further, let me show you real quick. This does come with a very nice carrying case with strap for carrying the drone and its accessories. But I just want to get that out of the way because I always forget to talk about the carrying case before finishing the review. But what do we got here? It is an orange folding drone, another orange folding drone with a 2-axis gimbal. It's a GPS drone, of course. Let me get the gimbal cover off. But there you go, 2-axis gimbal on the front of this drone. Again, this thing weighs about 500 grams, folks. So keep in mind, you are going to need to register this in most countries because of that weight. But other things about it, it's brushless motor folding drone. So that improves the durability of this drone. It should improve the motor durability of the drone. Also, it mentioned it has GPS, and I believe it's actually a dual GPS system with GPS GLONASS because it's rather rapid GPS lock on when I took it out of my backyard to try it out the other day, folks. So I think it's actually a dual system, and it does go up to like 16 satellites, so that also tells me this is probably GPS GLONASS. But what's special about GPS? With GPS, you can get automatic return to home and landing capability with this drone on command by pressing a button on the controller on loss of signal or on low voltage. You can do, the drone will automatically come back and land itself where it took off from. It does have optical flow system in it, optical flow on the belly, and what this is a tiny little camera that looks down from the belly of the drone directly below the drone, and the view that it sees, it uses that view to automatically hover the drone when you are indoors without GPS operating. If you want to actually fly this indoors, say in a large gymnasium, I would not fly this indoors in your living room, folks. It's too big to do that. But if you're flying indoors, like a gym, in an RC meet, you know, with other RC pilots, yeah, this can automatically hover indoors. It does use a 3S battery. It's 11.1 volt. Let me pop it out if I can remember how to get it open. 11.1 volt. How many milliamp per hour? 2850 milliamp per hour. This is a big battery, folks. With that, this is predicted to give you up to 30 minutes of flight time on this drone, which is a rather long flight time for a drone. So it has that capability. It does, I mentioned it has a 2-axis stabilized gimbal, and with that stabilized gimbal, it has what they call a 6K camera. Now, when we're talking 6K, the actual resolution in the video from this camera is 2688 by 1512 pixels resolution at 25 frames per second. However, its photos, the photos that it takes and records to its onboard SD card. By the way, it does have a micro SD card slot for those wondering. But anyways, the resolution of those photos that are stored on that SD card are 5700 by 4275. So that's where they're getting the 6K. They're talking about that 5700 resolution, horizontal resolution of those photos, and they're taking it up to 6,000 pixels. You're rounding it up, in other words, to call it a 6K camera. So that's where they're getting the 6K from. One thing about this camera, there was a plastic film over the lens of that, so that you're going to, and you wouldn't even notice it unless you look real closely, but, you know, protective film. Remember to remove that from the lens of your camera before flying, or else you may get blurry photos, and you'll be wondering why are the photos blurry from this camera. Other things about it, it does have long-range FPV. Very strong. It's supposed to have a very strong video FPV signal. And with that, we would expect to see low lag and low frame dropping of video from this particular drone. Now, I won't be able to actually fly this out to 400 meters at my flight site, but I will be able to tell you, and you should be able to see while I'm flying, if we see any video stuttering of the FPV video to my phone. I think this is, you know, if this does have strong FPV signal, as it says in the ad, the FPV should be rather smooth while flying. And also, this has also the capability of recording 1080p video to your phone And I'm going to try to give you an example of that, and we'll see if we see any frame dropping or frozen frames in that video, and that would tell us whether that video signal was strong or not. Now, this uses, well, let's talk about the app for this. Before we go further, this uses 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. Before purchasing this drone, I strongly recommend, as I always do, to first verify that your phone is indeed capable of using 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. Not all phones have that capability. To find out if your phone has 802.11 AC, all you need to do is do a simple Google search of your phone's model name along with the terms 802.11 and the term specifications. And then look to see if 802.11 AC shows up in the search results from Google. Okay? Now, I got a book saying HFunFly app for this drone. And through this app, we're supposed to get advanced flight control features, FPV video, and advanced flight control features of follow me, circle me, and waypoints. However, when I used the QR code of this, it downloaded and installed an app called Lula RC, which is also supposedly from HFun. So I'm confused which app to use here. I am going to use Lula RC since maybe that's the latest and greatest, since that's what the QR code points to. But if we have problems out in the field, I have another app, HFun Pro, that I'll try to use with this particular drone. So I'm not sure what the confusion is here, why they have something called HFunFly, and then when you go to download it, you get Lula RC. So I'm sorry, folks, but that's an issue with that. Also, you get with this particular drone, it's actually a nice instruction manual that covers the features of the drone and how to use them, all the buttons of them. And I'll go over the buttons on the controller here shortly. But let's go over what else you get in the package. You get a spare set of blades. You get a screwdriver for installing those blades because they are held by little Phillips screws. And you get this little charging cable. Now, one thing, this charging cable is for charging that battery. And let me show you that real quick here. This is important. Do not lose that charging cable, because the battery port on this is this little pin port. Okay? These kind of cables are somewhat hard to find with these pin chargers, especially with a USB attachment. So, and also, if you do charge this, make sure to use a wall charger, a good wall charger like 2 amp wall charger to charge this. Otherwise, if you try to charge this through the USB port of your computer, it could take half a day or more to charge that huge battery there. So just a heads up on that. Now let's talk about the controller. I got this rubber band on it, and I'll mention why I got this rubber band on here shortly. But let's go over the controller. We'll start with the antennas. These are fake antennas, as I do not see any, I don't know if I can angle that or not, but I do not see any wires going up into them. So I'm assuming they're fake antennas. But even so, this controller is supposed to give you out to 800 meters of control range, line of sight control range. So if you fly outside of FPV range, if you can still see that orange drone in the sky, and maybe you can because it's orange, you can supposedly take this even further, out to 800 meters, and still record that video to that micro SD card on the drone. Let's go over the buttons of this controller. This is for raising the gimbal, and this is for lowering the gimbal, so you can point the gimbal up or down, the lens of the camera. This button here is for turning GPS on or off. And I'll mention that here. Why would you want to turn GPS off? Well, you could use it for manually flying the drone, or in an instance, sometimes I've seen drones, if you get into problems with drones where you see a lot of toilet bowling, you can turn off that GPS momentarily, and that should help calm down the drone if you run into what's called toilet bowl effect, where the drone starts to circle around, wander around in circles, usually because of compass calibration errors. Other things about the drone, this is for activating headless mode or for return to home and landing. Quick press for entering headless mode, or a long press for return to home and landing. This button here is for starting the motors, and this will do automatic takeoff and automatic landing by pressing this button here. And this button here is for starting and stopping, or taking a photo, and a long press for starting and stopping video. And the button up here is for doing a compass calibration, and I'll show you how to do a compass calibration when we go out in the field. And finally, let's go over the telemetry information that's available on this. You have signal strength, number of satellites received. Let me angle this so these show up. I hope they're showing up. Whether the GPS is on or off on the drone, whether you're recording video or taking a photo, what rate you are in, and that I did not see on the controller, how to adjust the rates of this. But it also tells you, this drone, through telemetry, tells you the speed of the drone, the height of the drone, and the distance of the drone from its takeoff point. And whether you're in mode 1 or 2, and that's GPS or optical flow mode. I believe 2 is optical, or GPS, mode 1 is altitude hold. It shows the battery telemetry, or the transmitter battery power and the drone's battery power, and also lists the actual voltage of both of those on here. And the last ones, I'm not sure what they are for. Easy, it says easy, and I don't think these ones actually have anything to do with this particular drone, folks. But anyways, that's the controller. Okay, let me turn it off. Oh, one thing about the controller, it also has a compass rose. This does come in handy, folks, when you're doing long distance line of sight flying. Say if you fly north, all you do to bring it back to you, if you want to bring it back through line of sight flying, just turn the drone around until you're flying south, and you'll bring it back right toward you without hitting that automatic return to home button switch. So that is it, folks. That's the JGRC X17 Poilt. I have to be sure that again. I'm pretty sure they meant pilot. But let's take this out in the field, folks, and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here on a slightly breezy morning, early morning here in northwest Pennsylvania. It's getting cold, folks. I don't know how much longer I could be flying here before the snow sets in. I think this coming week we're going to get a lot of snow. But with the JGRC X17. Okay, notice I'm using a rubber band to hold my phone in. The phone holder on this isn't very wide, folks. It's made for thin phones. My phone, unfortunately, is a very thick phone. And to hold it in there, I have to use a rubber band. Okay, to start this up, press the on-off switch in the back until we hear the chirp of the ESCs. And then we put the drone on the ground and make sure that its gimbal is centered and stabilized. And then we turn on the transmitter, and that connects it to the drone. And I see that I have 12.8 volts showing, which means I am connected to the drone. It's showing the drone's power settings. Okay, the first thing we need to do is a compass calibration. And to start it, we need to press this button in the upper right corner, like so. And all lights should be flashing, as we see here. I don't know if you can see that or not, folks. But we need to do 3 horizontal rotations until we hear a beep on the controller. Heard it. And then we go vertical. Notice the lights are solid now in the front, by flashing in the back. And we rotate until we hear a second beep, and the back lights go solid. Okay? Well, no, they don't go solid. What to do is they slowly flash, telling you that it's looking for satellites. And I think we just got sufficient satellites because they just went all solid. So we should be good to go to fly. Okay, the next thing I need to do is connect my Wi-Fi to the drone's Wi-Fi on my phone, and then open the app. So hold on, folks, while I do that. Okay, we now have 15 satellites, so we are good to fly here. That's also telling me that we have dual GPS system on board this aircraft. And I have connected the Wi-Fi to the drone, and I've opened the app, and now we are going to hit Start Play. And we should see, there is FPV video, and it says keep a distance of more than 3 meters between you and the drone. I'm going to hit Submit. So we're good to go there. Next thing we're going to do is start the video recording by pressing the camera button down in the lower right corner and holding it until we hear a beep. And notice I get a little insignia in the upper left corner showing the camera is working, and also on the app, in the upper left corner, we see numbers increasing, indicating that it is recording. Now, I need to start the motors by pressing the start button, and then hit the automatic takeoff button. And the first thing we do is check stability of the aircraft. And also, I want to lower that gimbal a bit, not that low, a little bit higher. Actually, to lower the gimbal, I'm going to use
the joystick command on the app. It seems to be a little more sensitive, or less sensitive. Yeah, go up a bit higher. I don't want to. There we go. That's the height I want of the gimbal, so we don't see the props, or lessen the chance of seeing the props. Now I'm going to go up a bit and say, how do you like my clothing today, folks? It's cold. You're not going to see me wearing tie-dye for at least another 6 months or so. Okay, but before we take off and do anything further, I want to sync up the cameras like such. Now the sun is low in the sky today, right now where I'm flying. It's winter time, or getting close to winter. But first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the camera mostly pointed away from the sun, give the camera a fair chance here. But we're going to go up higher into this wind. There's a wind up aloft of about 12 miles per hour. We're going to see how well it can handle the wind first. Went up, you can hear that wind hitting it as we go up. Okay, and I can see Lake Erie, so that's all I wanted to do. What altitude are we? 20 meters. 20 meters is good for the drone. I don't want to go up any higher because the wind gets worse. But let's go fly around first, see how it works. Stopping there. Now I want to turn, push forward. Just seeing how this handles the wind. Lulu RC is stopped. Okay, hold on, I'm going to close the app. Yeah, I'm noticing a little bit of gyrations down there, a little bit of wobbling, likely because of that wind. So I'm going to come down a little bit lower. And I'm going to restart the Lulu RC app, so hold on. See if it comes back. Start play. And closed again. Close the app. So I'm having problems with the Lulu RC app. It seems to be somewhat unstable. Hit start play again. Keep stopping. Well, with that in mind, there's another app I'm going to try. Let me bring the drone back toward us. Closer toward us. It still should be recording video. And right about there, we'll plop it. Another app that I'm going to try is HFun Pro, which seems to be made by the same company. Let's see if HFun Pro works. Hit start play. Yeah. So if you have problems with Lulu RC, consider HFun Pro app. It seems to work with this. Right now, I am going to, well, it's still recording video, but it's not showing on the app. I'm going to just trust that it is recording with the HFun Pro app. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do is try, let's see if Follow Me works with this. We're not going to be able to use the Lulu RC Follow Me, but we should be able to use the Follow Me that comes with HFun Pro, which is in the upper right corner. Hitting that. Oh, that's waypoints. Follow Me is the second one there. And first thing, let's try Follow My Phone. And hitting that. Follow phone. And does it work? Seems to be. It's pointed toward me. Let's see if it follows. Yeah. So again, Lulu RC seems to have issues. And what's funny is Lulu RC is made by HFun. Okay, but the HFun Pro app seems to work better with this particular drone, which is odd. So stopping that there. Next thing I want to try is orbit position. We'll go up a bit higher for that and hit orbit position. Will orbit position work with this? And we're going to select upload. And let's see what it does. I think I need to activate it by telling it which direction to go. Oh, no. Let's orbit position that way. Upload. Seem to do something. No, it's not working. Maybe that's why HFun Pro is not being used with this particular app. because orbit position is not working. How about waypoints with the H-Fun Pro? Let's try, I just want to fly to one point. Okay, where are we at? Let's just go down the field toward that direction there. And then hit upload. I'm just going to go one. Upload. There. Upload. And let's see if it goes there. There it goes, flying over there. And will it stop itself? And there we go. After doing such, it seems to go into wobble. Turn the GPS off. I'm flying line of sight right now. Going up a bit higher. GPS off. Flying line of sight. It went into a wobble over in that direction there, folks, indicating that this likely needs to have some it's gyro calibrated again. I'm flying line of sight right now. Altitude, hold on. I turned the GPS off to stop that wobble. Okay, right here, let's turn the GPS back on. GPS is back on. Will the wobble stop? Nope. GPS off again. So let's go recalibrate this drone. I'm flying it manually. So, you know, that's a point, folks. If you ever have a drone that has problems wobbling, where you see circular toilet bowl effect, you need to recalibrate the compass, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Landing it manually. Okay, so again, we need to redo the compass calibration. While we're here, let me turn off that video recording that we've been recording. And going back on this view here, and putting the drone back on the pad. And to do that compass calibration, again, we need to hit this button here. And let's see if the lights are blinking. They are. So let's do that compass calibration again. Again, you ever see toilet bowl effect? Redo the compass calibration. Immediately. There. One beep. Do not try to continue flying with a messed up compass, or you will crash. Trust me. Still recording. And hitting start motors. Hitting automatic takeoff. And rechecking stability. Okay, seems to be stable now. So, again, toilet bowl effect, land immediately. Now let me turn this way so I don't look directly into the sun, so you can see this drone. And double checking its stability. It's holding its position rather well now. Well, I'm seeing a little bit of a wobble. A little bit. We've got a bit of a wind here. But while we're here, let me try one thing I haven't done yet, and that is to take a photo. Let's stop the video recording again. That wind is hitting it. And let's see how stable it is with that wind. But while it's here, let's take a photo. There's one. Second photo. Third photo. Notice the circling increasing, folks. I need to do it again. Turning off the GPS. GPS off. And bringing it over. And landing again. We are going to do one more compass calibration. I'm just going to land it right in the grass. There's no emergency stop. There we go. Yes, submit. I should have watched the app, folks. So if the situation comes up like that, check your app and see if it hit stop. Okay, we got low battery right now. That's the end of the flight time. Okay, one more time. I'm going to try to go into the air one more time. we should still have more flight time. It's just we're going to be flying within a geocompass area, I'm assuming. And before that, I want to do that compass calibration one more time. And double checking. Rapidly flashing. So horizontal rotations until... Now I'm not listening for beeps. I'm watching the lights this time. Lights in the front are solid. Back flashing. Going vertical. Until I hear or I see that light in the back go solid. Okay, front and back are flashing, so we should be done there. And stopping the video recording if it was running. It's not. Okay, starting the video recording again. And let's see, starting the motors. Automatic takeoff. Okay, for the remainder of the flight, we're going to be getting this beeping, but I think we're going to have a geofence that we got to consider. So we're going to stay low, and I'm just going to fly around and see if we have a geofence that we're going to bump into. Yep, there is a geofence. Oh, it's doing a return to home and landing. So let's see, check its return to home and landing on low battery. We're going to see how well it does a return to home and landing on low battery. And this will be its flight time. Is it coming down? Well, maybe I got to manually bring it down. But that's it, folks. Notice that all lights on it are now blinking. Telling us low battery. Let's show you that. See that all lights are blinking now. That's our low battery warning. So we're going to keep flying though, folks. Except I'm going to keep it within the 20 meters range. I want to fly it until its battery is fully depleted. At this point here, let's go up one more time. One more time. Going up to about 20 meters. See Lake Erie one more time. Going up. Pointing its camera down. Seeing us down here. Hello. Pointing its camera back up again. One more. And then just flying around this area. So when it bumps into that geofence, it does a return to home, folks. Even though there's more battery power to fly. What is our battery voltage right now? Hold on, let me double check that battery voltage. Make sure I'm right. But we are 11.1 volts. Yeah, well, that's sufficient battery power. You know, real low battery comes in about 3.5 volts per cell. And this is a 3S battery, so that should be 3, 6, 9, 10.5 volts is when the real low battery should come into play. And you don't want to go below 9 volts entirely because that'll damage the cells. Okay, it's doing one more return to home because I hit that 20-meter bump again. So this time I'm going to let it land, or I'm going to bring it down and land it and call it its flight time. 11.1 volts coming down. But again, you can take it down to about 10.5 volts if you're careful. But every time you bump into this geofence, this seems to want to return to home. So let's sync it up. Cameras one more time. Summation. Okay, GPS is working, and it seems to be the compass on it seems to have some issues in that I need to recalibrate it. I needed to recalibrate it a couple times there. The Lula RC app seems to crash a lot. The H-Fun Pro app seems to work with this. However, it seems to have issues with some of the advanced features. Follow Me worked, Orbit didn't work, and Waypoints worked, except when I got out to that waypoint area, the compass issue became a problem. So that's about it, folks. Let me land this thing. Let's see if I can land it. Actually, let's continue flying until it actually does land itself. 10.5 volts or whatever, because this is advertised with 30 minutes of flight time, and I think that 30 minutes of flight time is supposedly real close. Since we're here, let's lower the gimbal again and do a rocket. Going up. Rocket flight. Okay, that's enough of the rocket. Let's come back down again. And raising the gimbal back up again. Okay, we're down 11 volts. Still flying. Again, we'll probably get to 10.5 volts. Maybe. But while we're here, see anything else that I could do with this? That's about it. I don't want to try. I don't want to try any more of the advanced features because I'm not sure what it's going to do. So we're going to just try to gently fly around the area. Raising the gimbal up. I don't care. You're going to see props probably. I want to make sure, at least give it a little bit of a chance here. Trying to fly it overhead. Bank turn. I do like the orange color of this thing. That will allow you to fly a good distance if your compass is working properly, that is. Turning. Continuing the flight time just to verify that we can get 30 minutes. Just got to keep it within that 20-meter circle. By the way, let's go up. Whoop. Let's go up and turn this way. And I'm going to do a slow pan around the area, except not toward the sun. I don't want you to see the sun. I just want you to see the camera performance. It is a high definition camera. Not standard 4K though. It's an oddball resolution, as I mentioned in the tabletop. But, you know, another thing that this could do, since this battery power came on rather early, low battery warning came on rather early, they should consider increasing that time to give you more flight time outside the geofence circle, you know, the geofence safety circle. Because this came on rather early. I know that they're guessing, they're doing it because of people that are going to be flying this at the 800-meter range. Make sure you have enough time to get back into range, but that's a little bit too conservative in my opinion for that. Again, letting it fly. Okay, the wind's picking up. Let's see how it performs, how stable it is in the wind, how stable it is with me in the picture in the wind. Let's turn it toward me. I don't want it to point toward the sun. Boy, that's a long warning, right? 10.9 volts. Again, we could go down to 10.5 volts is standard. You know, 3.5 volts per cell, just like, you know, three cells, 3 times 3.5 is 10.5. The absolute lowest that you could possibly go, I don't think this will let you do it, is 9 volts. You go below 9 volts and you are going to damage the battery. So, just watching. And one thing I'm going to do right now is restart the video camera. I want to make sure that I did get, and then starting the camera up again, I want to make sure that I did get sufficient volt or video on that camera, and that the video did record properly to the SD card. So one more going on. 10.9. Coming around. And let's see how stable it is right there. I'm going to plop it. I'm seeing a little bit of toilet bowl there. So, you know, that compass, maybe it's the local area I'm flying, but that compass is not super stable. If you're seeing gyrations like that. Showing the camera one more time around the area. This time I am going to point it toward the sun. We'll continue turning until it points toward the sun, slowly, to show you the dynamic range of the camera. Again, you are going to be seeing props because I raised the gimbal up. So that's, again, keep in mind the sun is very low in the sky right now. It's early morning here. I'm trying to get the lowest amount of wind hitting this thing in the early morning hours. Okay, and then continuing on. Well, this will let me do follow me while it's on low voltage. I'm curious. Let's try it. Follow me. No, can't use the advanced features on low battery, so forget about follow me, circle me, and orbit position and waypoints while you are in such state, low battery state. So we'll just fly it close up. So yeah, the biggies on this that they need to fix, and I'm sure they will, is that app, Lulu RC app. Keep crashing. Stick that up. Lulu RC kept crashing, and features didn't seem to work properly. Particularly circle me and waypoint seemed to work. Follow me worked, but orbit position, I'm not sure. And HFun Pro app, you know, is a suitable substitute. It doesn't seem to crash like the Lulu RC did. And I'm not sure about the compass on this particular drone because of the toilet bowling I keep seeing with it. And another downside to it is the relative short flight time before it makes you come in. I mean, there's still a lot of battery power left. So, you know, that's kind of a overly conservative low battery warning that you get on this before it forces you to stay within that 20-meter circle. So continuing to fly until that battery does reach low battery state. I want to see what it does at 10.5 volts. Does it really land itself, or is it going to land itself where it's at, or is it going to fly toward the landing pad and land there? So we'll go over here because I am curious. Is it going to go back toward the pad? I don't want to go further than 20 meters. 10 meters away is good. We'll stay over here about 10 meters from its position. And while we're here, let's take a couple more photos to show its camera. Stopping the video and taking a photo. Coming down. Getting up close for the photo. One more photo. With the sun in my face. One more. So, yeah, here in Erie, it's going to be difficult in the coming months here to fly. We got like 2 back-to-back snowstorms coming, supposedly. That's going to be interesting. Let's start that video camera again. Video camera is recording again. Still got battery power. I'm just flying on low battery. But, you know, while we're here, let me try an up and away. Up and away. Coming forward again. The way I'm doing this, folks, is pulling back on this stick. Let's lower the gimbal. Let's try that up and away again. Pulling back on the stick and giving it throttle. Up and away. Coming back down. Out of the sun. Trying up and away, going in this direction. Pulling, or let's see, this is, which direction is that? Yeah, pulling up, back and up. Up and away. Let's come in real close and do it up and away. Okay. And then pull it back and up and away. Okay, raising that gimbal. Boy, I wish I could get... If only this was a little bit smoother, the gimbal. Because I know you're seeing props. I want to get that sweet spot where you don't see the props. I'd be doing more, folks, if... Again, that's another thing. These don't let you do advanced flight modes once you're in low battery state like this. You know, I would have liked to have done more follow me, you know, in the 20-meter area here, but it doesn't let you do that, unfortunately. Okay, 10.7 volts. Still good there. I'm almost certain they're going to land at 10.5. If not, I'm going to land at 10.5. That's a safe, sweet spot to land and preserve the battery. But continuing on. Oh, am I in headless mode? No, I'm not. I thought I was in headless mode there. So I'm just flying it up close so you can see it. Boy, that wind's hitting it now. Wind's picking up a bit. You know, again, I'm mentioning about the orange color. I wish all drones had an option of orange. That's about the best color you want, folks. You know, these other ones that are black and gray, and even green, you know, are not really good options, okay? Like the black and gray are difficult to see in the sky, and the green ones are difficult to see. Say if you landed and crashed in the grass somewhere and you want to go looking for it, you're going to have a hard time seeing that green one. Orange is about the best color for a drone, so I wish they all were orange, folks. Let's see if I can do a manual circle me. There we go. What voltage are we? 10.5 volts. What did I tell you? Okay, let's hit that emergency stop. Stop. Submit. Emergency stop. I used the app to do that, folks. The app will shut it down. So, that was it. I was right. 10.5 volts. So, again, let me stop the video recording. Make sure I got it. Video recording stop. Or maybe it wasn't recording. Either way, I'm hitting stop again. But again, folks, yeah, the big thing I don't like about it, the big con that I have about it is how early that low battery came on here. It really limits the amount of flying you can do. You know, it brings you within that 20-meter circle, and then you're stuck. Let's get the sun in my face. You're stuck within that 20-meter circle. You know, you can only do basic things within that 20-meter circle. Other than that, again, the compass, I seem to have problems with the compass out here in that we were going into toilet bowl effect. I had to come or break out of GPS manually by hitting that GPS button on here and then manually flying it back toward me. That requires some knowledge of how to do that, how to manually fly line of sight. Okay, not everybody is able to do that. So that's a good skill to practice. You can practice it with a GPS quadcopter, but other than that, the camera looks good. At least it looks good on my phone. We'll see how well it looks in post-production here when I show the actual video from the camera. So, again, this is the JGRC X17. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.